Okay, so this is going to be audio overdub for video I shot on 9/23, and it is currently October 7th on a Saturday because the audio that I thought we got in this video didn't work. Okay, so here I am, the two large, long areas that are part of the horizontal stabilizer. I'm finishing up all of the riveting for those two pieces. In the last video, you saw me put the end pieces on these and hook up together. But again, like I said, you put this plane together at least 3 times. So after I did that last time, I took it apart again, and now I'm in this video, I'm finishing all the rivets on the two long horizontal pieces on a horizontal stabilizer. You know, I put in a rivet and I try to do it symmetrically. So, you know, one side of rivets areas one time and then opposite side the other time. So I'm keeping it balanced. All right. So again, this is kind of boring. It's just me riveting, but it's fun because you actually get to see things done. So in the meantime, let's see. Okay, so what else? I'm a ham radio operator. My handle is, or my call sign is W1WHO. And I did want to give a shout out to my buddy Sean Linkenheimer, who is N5LNK, because he is an invaluable in this process. He's doing all my audio and video editing and putting it up on YouTube. So he tells me, oh yeah, shoot this video, and then here's the overlay, do some audio, and anyway, eventually we will get all this stuff down to one camera with one audio at the same time, and we think we've actually got it pretty close to that now. I'm using a different camera. One of the pilots in my area was listening on the ham radio when we were talking on the repeater on 940, and because everybody knows that I'm building an airplane, and even a couple pilots in the area know it too, and we were talking about having all the trouble we were having in shooting audio and video and the formats and stuff. Sean has a Mac, and his video editing software will not edit an AVI file, and my main camera shoots in AVI format. So then he had, oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so here you can see all the rivets are installed now on both of these pieces with just Clecos on the top and bottom. But I wanted to show you what it looks like, and boy, does it feel good to have all of those in and looking good. So here's further on. I'm shooting. I've started piecing the ribs back into this again, and like as I said earlier, you build this thing at least 3 times. So the two horizontal pieces are fully riveted, and now I'm putting in the Clecoing in all the ribs and the trailing leading edge round pieces and the what do you call them? The pieces in the back. I forget what you call them. But I'm getting them all aligned and Clecoed in, and you'll see me here soon actually riveting all of these ribs into place, and that's another whole good feeling. And upcoming, I have a whole video I've already done, but again, lost all the audio to it, so we've got to overdub it. But it's putting the skins on and how you dimple them, and it's my wife and I doing the dimpling on our big dimpler, and you're just worried about bending the sheet metal, and like I said, like I say in the video, although that was not captured, we thought we captured it, but we didn't. So we're working on it. Eventually, we'll get all this audio video stuff straightened out and working, so it'll all be synced up. So anyway, one of the pilots in the area heard me having these troubles, and he sent me an iPhone Plus that he wasn't using because he upgraded and he just had it. So I have now, he wiped it, and I've logged in under my own account, and I'm an Android person, so I have a hard time with this stuff. But anyway, I've got the camera. I had to buy some new camera mounts. And we're just using this thing as a camera and to do this voiceover. So that's what I'm on. I'm on iPhone 8 Plus doing that. Soon you'll see some video of putting it all together, the skins onto the actual horizontal stabilizer framework, and some riveting. I'm hoping to do that later today after I get through doing these audio dubs. And so anyway, yeah, it just continues. So hopefully we'll get all this audio video stuff straightened out. But in the meantime, sorry to have you suffer along with me, but it's been crazy for us too. Finding all this stuff out that we didn't know, so we're having to swap formats and try to get things, and it's a pain in the butt. But it is what it is, and we'll get through it, and eventually it'll all work out. Now up in the TV, above my head there, a little bit to the left of the TV, it looks like something with two eyes is looking at you, and that's actually a GoPro camera. But again, it's an older one, so I'm not shooting video with that one just yet, although we probably will turn it on at some point in the future, so we can have dual perspective of the garage. But right now we don't really need it. So again, I'm just sitting here doing some clecoing of all the parts into the right places, and shortly here on this video you'll see me start to rivet all of these things into place for their final riveting, which is another thing that feels really good that you're doing. So disregard the date down there. Again, I didn't realize that every single time I turned on the camera I had to reset the date, which is a pain in the you know what. But it is what it is. You learn as you go. All right, so yeah, just you can see in the foreground there I have the instructions open, and I go back and forth with those and trying to make sure I get all this right. Now in the dimpling video, I actually made several mistakes. I dimpled two of the interior ribs and two of the rounded nose cone rib areas in this section that I went and dimpled them and didn't realize I didn't have to, and I didn't know that until I put the skins on. So, but I point that out in the video, and I'll probably point it out more in the video I do where I'm doing the major dimpling to the skins and everything. So I think a lot of time in between the last video and this one, I dimpled almost all of the interior ribs. That was off camera. Kind of boring watching me dimple that stuff. But we did have to, that's another thing, you do have to grind down the female side of our dies that come from Sling. So nobody talks about that, but when you get into it and you start building this, you're going to find out that you're going to have to use a grinder and grind down part of the female dies on both of them that they send you from Sling, because otherwise you can't get in close enough to do the dimples. If you have questions on that more, I think I have some video of that in another upcoming video that I think it's already there. But if you have questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so I was looking at instructions, make sure I did it right, and you can see I was saying yes, I did it right. So I continue. And it was pretty hot that day. This is back in September, and it was probably close to 100 if it wasn't over 100 outside. So every once in a while you'll see me take a breath. And today it's not so bad. It's probably in the, what does Google say? 74 degrees at the moment here in League City. So it's kind of nice out in the garage now. So again, just boring stuff where I'm doing some clecoing of all the parts, and then if there's 3 holes, you either cleco 2 on one side and 1 on the other, or 2 and 2, And then when you go to put your rivets in, you put your rivets in the middle, and then you take Clecos out, and you rivet those holes until everything's filled. And more on that when we get into the skins, because that becomes much more important. And we'll talk about that as we're doing the skins. We use a lot more Clecos when we're doing the skins. Several people have told me, yeah, when you do the skins and you put them on, at a minimum, you do every third hole, and really you should be doing every other hole with Clecos to get everything lined up. And it's more difficult than you think. That piece that I have in my hand right now that I'm Clecoing to the front, the leading edge of the horizontal stabilizer, those tend to bend a little bit, and so when you're putting on the skins, you've got to really work to get those aligned. And we'll talk about that more in an upcoming video. So I just want to let you know. So if you have trouble with it when you're doing yours, don't feel bad. Yes, we all do. All right, well, here we go. Putting in a rivet on the side piece, as you can see, because I Clecoed above and below, put in the rivet, and then I put a couple rivets in the back piece there, and then I'll come back and take out the Clecos and fully rivet that. And so here you'll see me starting to rivet all of these pieces actually into place. And then I think this is either the third or the fourth time those have been actually in place. So if you are taking your plane apart and putting it back together, and apart and back together, and apart and back together, friend of mine, Drew, who's built a Sling 2, recently just finished his 40 hours of flight time, has probably, in addition to the 40 hours, another 10, 15 hours of actual flying. So he told me, he came over and we were talking about it, and he said, yeah, he said, expect to build your plane at least 3 times, and sometimes 4. So, yep, you can see me starting to rivet all these pieces in finally. And boy, does it feel good to finally get these things riveted in, so the whole thing is looking pretty good. And just more riveting here. It's a little difficult to get the rivet gun in some of these slots, but you can do it. I did it. You do have to, in the front, of course this is a trailing edge, in the leading edge up front, you do have to bend those rounded pieces off a little bit in order to get the rivet gun in there. So that's another reason why you have to bend it back, and when you're putting the skins on, it's a little difficult. So anyway, this is almost up for this video, or audio overdub, but I just wanted to let you know what I was doing here. Doing some riveting, which felt good. All right. And I think that's just about it for this one. I'm checking everything. Yep, there I go. So that's done. Okay, and I'm reaching over to turn off the camera.